Hi, Aries. I keep trying to do this without my sunglasses, but I can't see. I can't see. So, hi. Let me tell you a little story. All growing up, I wanted one of those cuddly moms. You know, the kind who are like, oh, sweetheart, what's wrong? Or, oh, don't worry. The way I am, like very soft, with the child. And instead, I had this Aries mother who was just so hardcore. But what I realize now is that anytime something has really happened, something that I needed help with, something that was bad, something beyond my control, the cuddly stuff, perhaps it would bolster oneself in some way, but it's never been as effective as the cut right to it, Aries, savage, cardinal fire. Like, I got this, you're my child. So let me give you a current example. Called my mom after a few days of avoiding her. She always knows when I'm avoiding her, something's wrong. Because I just can't not tell her the truth. Double negative. She looks at me like through FaceTime and her eyes just go right through me. And a lot of times I don't want her to see what's going on because I feel weirdly protective. Like I don't want her to be hurt. And she's like, I'm made of steel. I don't know why you're worried about me. So yesterday she just kept calling. So, like, you're gonna talk to me. I finally pick up the phone. Like, hey, what's up? She's like, what's going on with you? And I'm like, people are saying this and that about me, and they're bringing up all these things. And she's okay. Well, is it affecting your work? I'm like, I mean, no. Like, that's a completely separate thing. She's like, well, are you working? Like, yeah, I made the videos. I have a few more that I have to make. Did you make the Aries one yet? No, I still have to make that one. So you're going to let people who really need your help wait because you're worried about people talking about you. Well, when you put it like that, it's not that bad. No, it's not that bad, period. You're going to let your pride and what people think of you be more important than being of service in this world. But they're saying stuff about me. Oh, okay. And then she hit me with the knowledge. She said, अम्बर लोग तो खुदा के पीछे भी बातें करते हैं, तुम कौन हो? तुमने अपने आप को समझा क्या है? जो लोग खुदा के पीछे कह सकते हैं कि वो ऐसे हैं, वो ऐसे हैं, जिनने बनाया है, तो तुम कौन हो? And what that means is people talk behind God's back. God created everything, and people stay talking behind God's back and saying the worst stuff. Who do you think you are? And I was like, that's strangely comforting, Mother. She's like, okay, well, it wasn't meant to be comforting, it's the truth. Do your job. Be of service. Okay, Mom. So that's where we find ourselves. And I've realized in my own life, as sweet and soft as I can be, when my kid really, really needs help with something, I turn into that Aries mother who raised me. I'm just straight to the point. This is what it is. This is what it's not. Don't worry about it. That's it. And I can see how it's made him so much more confident because things don't faze him. And I realize actually that part of the reason why things faze me is because she was actually soft with me. And she even said it. She was like, this is why I always told your father not to shelter you guys too much. This is why I've always said that you needed to be out there in the world doing stuff, because my father wanted to keep us very, close. And my mother was like, no, let them go out and do what they need to do. Like, let them learn about the world. But this is also a woman who came from nothing, has built herself into something, right? And so she wanted that in us. And I realize now that I'm a lot softer than my kid because she was soft with me. And in those ways, I'm not soft with my kid because I don't want him to be easily rattled. And I realize that he's not. And so here I am, you know, with, and my son and my mother are a lot alike, of course. They look alike. And I'm looking at these, you know, one raised by me and the other I'm raised by. I'm looking at these two people who were just strength incarnate, in like twins, big and little form, you know. And it occurred to me that this is what collectively is going on for us right now. We are being asked to look past whatever may be going on that may be egoically hurting us. Because, you know, like, I'm human, of course. I get hurt if someone says things about me. Whether they're true or not true, it doesn't matter, it hurts me. But my mother's point was so good. Like, okay, but is that more important than helping people and doing what you need to do and what you are supposed to be doing, what you've been sent to do? No, not at all. So focus. What are you doing then? But what about my feelings? Yo, your feelings are subjective. Like, your work and your purpose is not. Like, come on. What's going on here? Get it together. And you know, I don't think a cuddly energy could have done that for me, because you know what it did? It snapped me out of it. I was just like, excuse me while I fix my shirt. It snapped me out of it. I was just, yeah, that's true. She was like, yo, people are waiting for that Aries reading, including me. Do your job. Okay. So here we are. At the end of this, I'll tell you a joke in Urdu, which is hilarious, that she told me before we got off the phone. So you could call this a Aries appreciation post / August reading. Because let me tell you, between her and Yazi, my Aries friend, y'all just... And you know, it's not that I don't know that she's not going through her own things, that you guys aren't going through your own things. I think, you know, it is my Aries placements, Mars and Venus, that are also feeling this. Just the pain of being yourself and somehow that becoming, just being attacked, feeling like on a heart level, feeling like people are just looking to hurt you. And the Three of Swords, like, you may be in that space right now where you're like, I just don't understand. Why would anyone want to do this to me? Like, what? I just don't understand. So, I guess your first piece of advice you already got from my mom. I'm going to teach you guys Urdu if it's the last thing I do. But it's true. People talk behind everybody. People wrong the creator. So somebody wronged you. Let's not stay there. Let's not get stuck there. And that's why she kept calling, because she was like, you doing that thing where you get stuck? That's why I had you taken out early, so you wouldn't be doing this Cancer shit. You stuck? It's so untrue. She's like, okay. She's like, people lie 24/7 all over the world about everything. Like, we got world leaders who lie like they breathe. Come on. Like, what kind of naivete is this? Wake up. Knight of Cups. And why wake up? Because there's really good things that are going to start small, that are coming in that right now may not seem like anything. You know what she hit me with? She was like, oh, by the way, you're so worried about, you know, your peoples, your revolution, that's what you're worried about? Well, yeah, of course that's what I'm worried about. She was like, okay, well, first of all, if you're worried about them, do the reading. Right? If you're worried about them, do the readings like you're supposed to. But secondly, how's your sub count? I'm like, well, ironically, it's been going up. And she was like, uh-huh. She's like, you can't see the good in this right now, can you? No, it just seems like an attack on your ego. Yeah. So you can't see how this is actually great for you. No, it frees you up. You don't see that? Yeah, I guess I do. The hurt you're experiencing right now is going to free you up. And it is inviting a whole new kind of benefit and commiseration in your life. you know, whatever you may think of me as a friend, as a healer, as someone who's helped you, this has brought me to a place where there is no separation between us anymore. Like, I am completely just as human as you are. And, you know, it's led to an incredible rise in empathy across the channel. Just the support, the love. And that's what she was saying. She was like, you don't understand how this pain is opening you up to a whole new kind of love and benefit that you could never have imagined if this hadn't happened. I'm like, but how do you know that? Like, I know that because I'm your mother. Go do your job. Okay. I was like, the funny thing is, I don't even see it like a job. Like, I really like doing it. It's fun. She was like, see, that's your problem. Because then when it's not fun, you're not going to want to do it. It's not about having fun. It's about helping people. Come on now. And that's hard, right? Because to me, Aries, the I Ching card, or the I Ching card, now that we're doing cards, that's how I'm thinking of it, but the I Ching hexagram that I like best, one of its changing lines says, this card is about someone who is injured in war and yet does the job to save others while not even paying attention to their own injury, and is still getting people out of harm's way. 5 of Wands. And that's what she means. Do what you're supposed to. Not because it's fun. Not just when it's fun. Do what you're supposed to because it's your calling. To be a warrior isn't just to fight. To be a warrior isn't just to war and to aggress and to be, you know, angry. It's the person on the battlefield pulling other people off, not even caring that they're bleeding out. Someone will take care of that, you know? The universe will take care of you. You take care of others. That's always been her thing. Whenever somebody is like, oh, you know, you're like this or like that, like, how do you have all the like stuff you have, and how do you, she's always like, you know, I never ask for anything. I just give people stuff all the time, and then what I want just comes to me. Page of Swords. So, Ace of Pentacles, bottom of the deck. We'll take that, yeah? So now you can see how we start off August, or what's left of Leo season, feeling quite pained, misunderstood, in some ways even attacked. And then you will realize in the midst of all this chaos that there is such huge opportunity coming to you, a sort of opportunity that you could have never gotten had the pain and the strife never come to you. Those blessings were only possible through that route. And I think that's part of the reason that Aries are the way they are. They understand that sometimes you need to put your horns down and you need to run through something, whatever that obstacle may be, because first of all, you know that you have the wherewithal to do it, but also because there are things that are on the other side of those barriers that you are not meant to have until you can be that person. So if you have an air sign in your life, that person's coming up super positive, someone that you can make a lot of money with this month, someone that you can start partnerships with. Even the Knight of Cups, although you may meet this person in the midst of great conflict, there is a benefit in this. If there is a water sign right now that has broken your heart and you are just in shambles because of it, understand that even within that heartbreak, even within that 3 of Swords, even with the 5 of Wands swirling around you, there are untold blessings coming to you simply through that. You couldn't have gotten them otherwise. And that was really her point. She was like, the way that people can relate to you now, knowing that, like, listen, everybody is human. Everybody is open to slander and attacks and everything. She's like, the way people can now relate to you, they probably couldn't relate to you before. She's like, I think people are going to love you more now. And then, of course, she had that. Of course, she's my daughter. I don't want to talk about how much I love you guys, because then I'm just going to cry. And that's one of the things she said. She was like, don't you fucking let them see you cry. You right, you right, you right. And she said, she did say it. She was like, watch the amount of monetary payback that you're going to get for what's going on right now. You don't even know. It's going to boost you in so many ways. And then I wake up to all these emails from all these different companies who are like, yo, we saw what's going on with you. You know, we want you to endorse our products. We want to sponsor you. We heard you have a lifestyle brand channel coming out. We want you to review this. We want you to do that. And overnight, almost, there was this entire new thing that opened up for me. I have a hair on my face. Oh no, it's one of those like floaty pollen things. If I wasn't squinting, I would just take them off. There it is. Oh, it's a cat hair, Leo season. So, aside from the Ace of Pentacles, which is mid-August, that great benefit starting to show itself, we have to get to mid-August. And getting to mid-August is about wading through the mud and waiting on that karmic judgment card. Very good, very good. Here we have King of Pentacles and the Magician. So if you are dealing with an earth sign, they're coming up very positive. And this Magician energy, I've just been writing about the Magician in my book. It's so cool when you write about a certain archetype, how much you get to know that archetype. It's just your understanding of it deepens, no matter how long or how short of a time you've been doing this. When you sit with a certain archetype, when you sit with a certain card, you will see that things will intuitively come to you where you're like, I get this energy. I understand this energy. You know what the Magician is about right now? The Magician is the energy that my mom was talking about. It's about being able to see anything that's going on in your life, be it this or this, or someone's just like getting on your nerves, someone's hurting your feelings, somebody, it doesn't have to be a huge thing. But this card sees everything as a raw material. That's what the stuff on his table is about. It's raw material. When you see everything that happens in your life as raw material for an alchemical process that has to do with you, that has to do with you constantly evolving and getting better, which is all of what Aries is about. That's it. That's why I'm so irritated by this formulaic definition of you guys being this really combative, god of war, and that's it. If you look in Native American tradition, a huge percentage, disproportionately, more than half of what makes someone a warrior has to do with helping your elders, building fences, tending to animals, tending to children. The warriors, when they're in peacetime in their villages, they are keepers of the community. They are the ones who push us forward and evolve us. They're the ones that come from all over the world where they go in war and do all this stuff, and they come home and they bring all these things. They bring all these new ideas. They bring new people with them. They bring spices and books and everything. You see, it is immature. It is an immature understanding to think of war as this one-sided thing. To think, because then you will think of a warrior as a one-dimensional thing. Of course, war, predation, all of it is horrible, but it is a very serious mistake to take, for example, our soldiers and put it on them. You see what I'm saying? War and predation are the most awful exhibition of the human condition. But the warrior, that's a different thing. That's a noble person. So the Magician is about that other 50% in the case of an Aries. there is a documentary called Incident at Ogallala that talks about the American Indian movement, AIM, that took over a federal building in Washington and did a sit-in for quite some time as protest of how the Native Americans were being treated. In that documentary, they go into great detail of what the AIM movement did when they weren't out, championing Native American rights and doing that political side of it. What they were doing is they were on the reservations. They were protecting the elders. They were protecting the children. They were building fences. They were redoing houses. So the evolution of civilization has a lot to do with war and warriors. It is naive to not acknowledge it. Well, it's unfair too, right? So the magician is the energy that says, regardless of what is going on with you, what are those circumstances the raw materials for? What do you want to do with them? How do you want to take those things and make something out of them that pushes you forward, that evolves you as a person and evolves the people around you, pulls your whole community? Aries is the one that pulls us into the new year. It is the energy, the cardinal fire is the only energy that can make that jump from Pisces to Aries, right? You are the ones that are the forefront of that evolution. And I think in August, you get to see what you're really made of, because no matter how cool she seemed on the phone, like, I'm her daughter, inside that she was upset, that she was like, her heart was hurting for me. Of course, she can't stand seeing people in pain, but she was able to do early what we will have to do mid-August, which is take the situation, look at it and say, okay, well, if you take these things and you kind of crack them here and there and repackage them, you have something amazing. Here you go. And that's what this month is about for you. It's about cracking a few things. Yeah, it'll be a little uncomfortable. Yeah, your pride might get a little shaken. But ultimately, you will have the support you need. You will have the money coming in that you need. And you will, more important than anything, like I talked about with Capricorn's direction, you will have the direction in which to run. Aries are great at running through obstacles if they know where the obstacle is. The way to really trip you guys up is to not give you something to run at. You need to have a clearly defined problem or something to be like, oh, this is what it is. Boom, let's go. So the clearly defined problem this month for you is how to take the Three of Swords energy, how to take the Five of Wands energy, and use your communication, be open like a water sign, and still retain your sense of self. First card out, just as a reminder, like, don't you forget who you are. And what will you do with those raw materials? How will you crack and mold them and melt them and reform them to come to your best place? Because whatever energy we put in right now, however we use these raw materials that we've got, it sets the tone for another 6 months. That's a lot. Bottom of the deck, Judgment, the Tower, Ace of Wands. What'd I tell you? The stuff that's happening right now is going to seem unbearable in some cases. Just cruel. Unnecessarily cruel. But the benefits we cannot see yet. But by the time we get to the end of August, you're going to be looking around going, I got to show you this reading because I did not know how this was going to go, but here we are 30 days later, and I can't believe this opportunity fell in my lap. I can't believe my business got off the ground. I can't believe my kid, got into that school or whatever. Like, you are going to feel that this is fire success. You see, it's great. Ace of Pentacles, wonderful. We love it. We love it. We want it. Wonderful. But this is the kind of success that makes an Aries go, this is the kind of opportunity that makes an Aries go, yeah, that I like, that I wanted, and I got it. So if I were looking at this, we were doing a personal reading, and the Judgment, the Tower, and the Ace of Wands came up, the first thing I would say to you is you need to fall back this month from your own emotions, from your own fears. Don't let anybody see you sweat, because the name of the game right now is to make it to the end of August. When we get to the third week of August, things start to roll in a way where you're like, is that for real though? Like, is that really what's going on? Yeah. Is that really for me? Yeah, it is for you. It is for you. And you will pass through the Judgment and Tower moment. Now, when you have the Judgment and Tower card come up together like this, right? This is about rectifying this Three of Swords, Five of Wands energy. So when the Judgment trumpet is sounded, it is not you that gets turned around and shaken and, the lightning hits your building. It's everyone who, through the end of July and through August, was in a lot of ways trying to work against you, stand in your way, be cruel, be mean, talk, try to hurt you in financial ways, things where you're like, why would anyone do this? Like, I, as an Aries, I don't have time to do this. Who has time for this? Those people, the reckoning that is coming back around, it's severe. It's severe. And you see the karmic scales balancing out, because that's what they have to deal with. And this is what you get. So it's just about making it to the end of the month. I'm not saying be patient, though. I've learned to stop saying that to you guys. I'm not saying be patient. That's like telling a woman to relax. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that, well, I'm saying exactly what my mom said. You don't feel good right now? Do your job. You feel like people are hurting you and attacking you? Do your job. Be of service. Go out on the battlefield and collect the wounded, even though you are bleeding out. And by the time you get to the end of August, the medals, the accolade, the appreciation that you get will be off the chain. And you will know internally that it was your change in thought that led to it. Because when you start seeing everything in your life as just a raw material towards your own advancement, things that you can use to bring even more understanding and therefore abundance into your life, nobody can stop you. That's when Aries adopts that energy, is when you learn how to run through any hurdle, no matter how hard it seems, no matter how thick that wall seems, you can just break right through it. Now, I think the frustration comes in where like, well, I wish I was a Sagittarius and I could just jump over the wall and I wouldn't have to break through it. Or I wish I was a Leo so I could just, kind of climb on top of the wall and sit on it and look around and go, oh, this is the wall that you guys were so, this is the wall you tried to put up against me. Why do I have to be the one that has to, run at it head first and knock it down? Because if you don't knock these things down, who's going to do it? We need you to do it. You're the one who does it. Do your job. Let me show you these cards. And also just a thank you. Like, it's one thing to have like an incredible mother, incredible father, incredible, mashallah, like support system. But it's another thing to have that times 130 something thousand. 137,000 something, about to be 138,000. It's beyond what I can express. So thank you. Now let me tell you a joke. It is in Urdu, and I promised, shout out Rina, I promised your mom that I would, hi auntie, thank you for your prayers. Leo season is so emotional. So let me tell you a joke. This guy, right? Oh, in Urdu. And then I'll tell it in English. एक बंदा जाता है, उसको फरिश्ता ना जन्नत लेके जा रहा, तो पास से गुजरे होते हैं, एक जगह के पास से गुजरे होते हैं, तो वो फरिश्ते कहते हैं ये क्या है जगह? फरिश्ता कहता है वो ये जन्नम है। कहते मैंने ना जन्नम देखना। तो फरिश्ता उसको कहता है देख तुम्हें जन्नत लेके जा रहा हूँ, तुम्हें जन्नत देखने की क्या जरूरत है? यहाँ तुम्हें क्यों जाके क्या देखना है तुम्हें? नहीं बस मैं देखना चाहता, चलो मुझे ले जाओ। फरिश्ता उसको ले जाता है, जाके देखे तो ऐसे ना कुएं, बने हुए हैं, कुओं में लोग भरे हुए हैं। हर कुएं के ऊपर एक फरिश्ता खड़ा है, उसने डंडा हाथ में पकड़ा। तो जाके देखता है, लाइक कहता है ये क्या है? कहता है हाँ ये ना हर मुल्क का एक अपना कुआं है, और हर मुल्क के कुएं के ऊपर एक बंदा खड़ा है, वो फरिश्ता खड़ा है जिसके हाथ में ना डंडा है। जब वो लोग ऊपर आने की कोशिश करते हैं ना, एक दूसरे के ऊपर लाइक चढ़ के ऊपर आने की कोशिश करते हैं। I was gonna say climb because sometimes I like put English words into my Urdu. Trying to keep it pure, yo. जो फरिश्ता ऊपर खड़ा है डंडा उनको मारता है और वो नीचे गिर जाते हैं। फिर एक वो चल रहे होते हैं, एक वो हर मुल्क है ना कुएं को देख रहा है, वो देख रहा है वो फरिश्ते उनको मार रहे हैं, वो फिर नीचे गिर रहे। एक वो आता है कहता है इस कुएं के ऊपर तो कोई, ये तो खाली है, इसमें लोग हैं। कहता हाँ इसमें लोग हैं। भाई ये कहाँ के लोग हैं? कहते ये इंडिया पाकिस्तान के लोग हैं। इंडिया पाकिस्तान के लोग हैं? अच्छा, तो इनको नहीं चाहिए कोई फरिश्ता डंडे के साथ? कहता नहीं, ये अपना खुद ही इंतजाम कर लेते हैं। कैसे? ये निकल के क्यों नहीं दौड़ जाते? कहता हाँ फरिश्ता यहाँ रखने की जरूरत नहीं, क्योंकि हमने ये देखा है कि जब कोई ऊपर चढ़ के बाहर आने की कोशिश करता है ना, नीचे से कोई उसकी टांग खींच के ना उसको नीचे फिर घसीट के ले। तो इस कुएं के लिए हमें कोई फरिश्ता नहीं चाहिए। इस महीने आपने इस कुएं में से निकलना, और लोग आपको खींच के ना पीछे की तरफ लेके जाने पड़े। और ये सिर्फ इस साइन के लिए नहीं, सारे महीने के लिए। जब आपको वो फील हो ना कि कोई आपको ऐसे पकड़ के खींचने की कोशिश कर रहा है, आपको पता होना चाहिए क्योंकि कि आप उस कुएं से बस ऐसे निकलने वाले थे, इसलिए किसी ने आपको वापस नीचे खींचा। लेकिन वहां रह के उस चीज का गम अपने आप को लगाना, अपने दिल को वो चीज लगानी, इससे आपको कुछ नहीं मिलने लगा। आपने उन लोगों को देख के फिर शुरू हो जाओ, फिर चढ़ना शुरू हो जाओ। इस महीने के एंड तक इंशाल्लाह आप निकल आएंगे, और वो लोग वहीं अभी तक फंसे हैं। So let me tell you in English, because you'd be like, oh no, she didn't just tell some real, shady, funny joke. So the joke is about Indian Pakistani people, but I'm gonna apply it to this consciousness community, but which I would like to go on record as saying I'm not a part of. I'm not a part. We are a part of a community. We're a part of the revolution. Other than that, I'm not part of anything. I'm a lone wolf kind of person. I don't like groups. No meetings. We can have satsangs, but no meetings. So this guy, he gets into heaven, and the angels, taking him to heaven. And they pass by this gate, and the guy says, "What's that?" And the angel's like, "Well, that's hell." And he's like, "Well, I want to see it." And the angel's like, "Why do you want to see it?" He's like, "I don't know. Like, come on, take me. I want to see it. Like, don't you have to let me do what I want?" And he's like, "Yeah, technically." And he's like, "Well, take me." All right. So they go in there, and there's a bunch of wells. Well, you put a bucket down. There's an angel standing on top of each well with like a bat, let's say. A stick. Danda, like long stick. And he says to the angel, "What's going on here? What's this all about? This is not what I expected. When I think of hell, this is not what I expected." And he says, "Yeah, well, so each one of these wells is for each country in the world. And on top of each well is an angel standing with a bat. So whenever the people from that well try to get out, the angel standing on top of the well just hits them and they fall back down. Then they come to a well that there's nobody standing there. And the guy's like, well, is that well empty? Is that for like a new country or what?" And he's like, no. In the joke, it's India, Pakistan. But I'm going to apply it to this rabid consciousness community. He says, "Oh, that's that group of people. Let's say the consciousness community." And he says, "Well, don't you need an angel standing there with like a bat to hit them down?" And he goes, "No, it's a funny thing we've observed. Whenever one of them tries to get up out of the well, another one from underneath pulls their leg and pulls them back down. And they just keep doing it. So we don't need to watch them. They'll never get out of that hole." Let me show you these cards.
Hi, and we're back, Aries. So now that you have the cards in front of you, you can see how the pain will free you up, will invite new things. First week of August, towards the end of it, yeah, there's going to be some more trouble. There's going to be some more aggravation. But use your words and also remember your value and realize that there's so much more value coming in. And also remember what it's all about. They're bridges, not obstacles. Or they're walls you're going to, better yet, they're walls you're going to bust down and turn into bridges. How about that? How about you bust the walls down and then use the cinder blocks left over to build a bridge? And the bridge is over pretty troubled waters. Okay, fine. But this karmic turnaround, this is what I like, that you guys get to see the cards. Most people are very visual learners. The karmic turnaround here is severe. When that trumpet blows, there is no one who cannot hear it. Everyone can hear it. And this tower moment is not just for you here, so don't worry, don't panic. This is collective. It's happening for all of us in lots of different ways. But the retribution is also here. So those who have wronged you, while you're moving up and getting the things you need, they will be falling apart. It's just one of those months. I think what happens is that Leo season takes Cancer season and doles out whatever is left that needs to be settled. It's like Cancer season does the hard work of digesting the emotions, and Leo season goes, okay, give me the finished product so I can go pounce on who I need to pounce on and be friendly to who I need to be friendly to. So that's where we're at. It's dangerous now to get stuck in what could seem like panic-inducing energy. It's not going to last. Even if you have a few days where you feel really panicky, just recall what I'm saying now. Don't panic. It's part of a much bigger cycle. See the month as a cycle and see these moments where you do feel that people are pulling you into drama. You do feel your heart hurting. You hurt for the people that have hurt you. I don't think a lot of people know that about Aries. I don't think you guys like to see people hurt. I think it hurts you to see people hurt, even when they deserve it. Now, the thing about the end of the month is that you will have these new opportunities, right? But it's very important not to revert when you get those new opportunities into an unsure, stuck place. Remember who you are. If you do not indulge this fearful energy, if you do not vacillate, if you do not hang on too tight to that which you know you shouldn't hang on to at all, and if you do not let the confusion of the up and down of this season get to you, which is just the up and down of Leo season has everything to do with following through on what you learned in Cancer season. It's hard to follow through on what you learn in Cancer season because what you learn is profound, and it's the type of stuff that makes you have to change your life. And Leo season comes in and says, fire, let's do it. Cool, I like changing. Cool, let's do this, let's do that, let's do this. And you're like, but Leo's a fixed sign. Yeah, it is a fixed sign. But fire is fire. Fire is alive. And fixed fire is very alive. It's dangerously alive. And it's an energy you need, but let's not get stuck in the fixed part of it. Let's go with the fire. And, that's also fire. Like, that's what I'm saying. Don't look at this card and be like, the tower again. No. What's to say that you're not the lightning in this situation. You don't have to be these people, nor do you have to relate to them. You can be the lightning. And I suggest that a lot of you do it. I suggest that after you go through and see what's actually left on your table from all this and realize how you can transmute it into something amazing, and then you'll see the monetary benefits of that. If not now, don't look at the Ace of Pentacles as like, oh, I had that last month and I didn't get any money, so that's what. This is not about getting money. This is about things starting that lead to money. This is big money. The only way this would be getting money is if we bought a lotto ticket or something, and then it's not that kind of getting money. It's something that will pay dividends over the long term. Whatever you realize this month, based on your emotions, but also how it informs everything else in your life, and if you follow that, say, for example, that you've learned very recently that your past, your family, people you thought should love you are full of drama and they hurt you all the time. By the time you get to the end of the second week of August, you're like, you know what? I can make something really positive out of that. You've learned by this point how to break through that wall and make what's left over, the remnants, into a bridge. And that bridge, when you walk over it, be it now or in 6 months from now, will lead to good fortune, very good fortune. But towards the end of Leo season, this Judgment card, as we head into Virgo, man, that's quite a transition. And it's a transition that it does have a lot of karmic balancing out involved. Sure it does. Because things, if you remember, in Virgo season get weeded out. Right? So that weeding out process, you will start to feel it early, of course, because you're in Aries. And the way that you're going to feel it depends on you. Like I said, you can either be the lightning or you can be the tower that's being destroyed and on fire. You can be the people falling out of it. It depends on who you choose now to identify with after realizing and knowing what you know now. See, if you get stuck here and you get stuck on something that's trying to leave, or you get stuck on something that's no longer a part of your life, then absolutely it'll be Tower and Four of Pentacles and Seven of Cups. Of course it is. But if you are able to break through these things and move forward, come to a bigger understanding, then success is assured. Will it take a while? Yeah, it might. But you obviously have a lot to take care of before then. And this, yes, good fortune, but Ace of Wands is what we're really looking for. Queen of Wands is what we're really looking for. Okay? Now, in the extended, we'll take a look at the bottom of the deck and we'll also clarify here, 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 and here. All right? I love you guys. I'll see you in the extended, but also see you in September.